This issue is near and dear to me, and it deals with, for the folks listening at home, the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, otherwise known as RGGI, R-G-G-I. If you remember, some of you were in this body back in 2018 when we passed a bill, actually passed the Senate bill, that basically forced the governor to stay within the parameters of RGGI and did not give them the ability to withdraw. And what this bill seeks to do is repeal that and to make it so that we can't re-enroll in the future. Why is that important? Well, these times are a-changing. The reason RGGI is so successful in reducing greenhouse gas is for a multitude of reasons, but it's largely because over the last 25, 30 years, we as a country have been using less electricity. And in combined with using less electricity, we've also been shuttering coal-fired plants. And generally speaking, if the electricity was continued to be needed, we would be replacing them with natural gas-fired plants, which emit a tremendous less amount of emissions. And that's why if you look at our trends, greenhouse gases, the largest industrial country in the world, have been going down year after year, along again with usage. But here we are at this juncture, and now we're using more electricity because of the AI boom and all the computers and servers and warehouses that need to be powered, and we find ourselves in a different posture, and all of a sudden our bills are going up. Now, the problem with RGGI is it says that you can bring new generation online. However, if it's fossil, you have to pay a significant amount of money via an auction to offset those environmental impacts. Now, what are our neighbors doing about this? Because they're consuming more electricity as well. They want to lower their rates. They're withdrawing from RGGI. Pennsylvania, our neighbor to the north, a Democrat governor, withdrew from RGGI. To our south, a Republican governor withdrew from RGGI, although that's still being litigated in the courts. They are temporarily on hold and have exited the agreement. Now, I said this is near and dear to me. In Cecil County, we have the Wildcat facility. It is state-of-the-art. It's cogen. It's actually been expanded. And it's right next to the Conowingo Dam, which I believe is, its current is in Tier 2. We are producing electricity in Cecil County, and we're distributing it throughout the state. Wildcat would like to expand. They would like to bring on another turbine cycle and generate electricity, but they can't. And the reason they can't is because it is cost prohibitive. We actually met with them last year, and they said the cost offset to bring another mod onto that plant would be in excess of $2 billion. There's no way that they can pass that on to the customer and have a reduction in rate. So, as I stated earlier, we've shuttered our coal plants. We've not replaced them with cleaner burning natural gas, and now we find ourselves at this juncture. We need more generation facilities in Maryland. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll try to be short here because I know we've had a lot of resistors to many of these amendments. This bill deals directly with, and I'm going to use some acronyms here, BESS. BESS standing for Battery Energy Storage Systems. We've talked a lot about solar, we've talked a lot about wind, and the sun doesn't always shine and the wind doesn't always blow. So how do we really harness the electricity that's being generated by renewables? We do that with battery storage systems. Currently, we have a few in Maryland that total up to about 12 megs in aggregate power that they can store. And these really allow for a number of things. They allow for peak shaving, so when we have days that are extremely hot or extremely cold, there's a lot of demand on the grid. They can store power and they can deliver it quickly back to the grid. And they also, you really can't have one without the other. So if you're going to go in the direction of renewable, battery storage has to accompany it. We currently don't have enough. So how do we incentivize more? Well, currently, we have the ESCC, which is the Energy Storage Capacity Credit, but it's only a few $1 million. What this amendment seeks to do, and I brought this up last year when we had the bill, and a gentleman was defending the bill, very contentious on solar. This exempts these projects from sales tax. Now, why is that important? Well, many of our other states that are moving in this direction have already done so. They've already exempted sales tax. These battery storage facilities are extremely expensive, all right? To make a cutting-edge, robust battery storage facility, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. They're averaging above $200 million to build these projects. And happened to have a person that I grew up with, went to college with, one of my fraternity brothers. He's in this industry, and what he has told me, overwhelmingly, the way that they target where they're going to do these projects is if they are exempt from sales tax. That's how they're making their margins. And that's, if there's a state that doesn't have this versus a state that does, guess where they're going? Guess where they're going to build? The ones that have exempted the sales tax. So I think that this is a common sense. I hope that it would have been a friendly amendment. But if we want to get serious about meeting our goal, which right now is 3 gigawatts by 2033, this is how we get there. This is the vehicle to do so. So in continuing with the minority leaders' drive for financial incentives and tax breaks, I think this is a common sense amendment. And with that, I'd move it.